Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we're doing an all signs reading. And this is going to look into why somebody ghosted. So, I'm probably going to say this a couple times, but I just want to be very clear that when I go through the astrological signs, I will be reading why the person that is that sign ghosted. So, in other words, if you are an Aquarius and you were ghosted by a Capricorn, you want to listen to the Capricorn because I'm going to be saying the Capricorn ghosted for this reason. If you want to know what order I'm going to go in for the all signs reading, I do have that in the description box below, along with my email address for personal readings, wickedwandstarot@gmail.com, and along with additional information on my memberships. So let's dive in. We'll call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time or a lot. I'm sorry. Just to be clear, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and then Capricorn, Taurus, and then Virgo. And when I'm done, I will come back and do timestamps. Don't hate me. It might take me a little while because I'm going to get outside and enjoy some of that sunshine. But I love you all, so thank you for your patience. Hello, Key Controller. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Gibson. Hello, Amanda. How we doing? I hope you're having a good day. So we're going to figure out why people are ghosting, and we're going to start with Aquarius. Aquarius, we're going to go with the Pulp Tarot for you. Well, Aquarius ghosters will be read with the Pulp Tarot. So the Aquarius that ghosted you, why did they ghost? Sorry, guys. I went outside this morning and weeded the garden for the backyard for an hour and a half, and woo! All right, Aquarius ghoster, Empress, Eight of Wands in the reverse, not shocking. The Hermit, Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is somebody who feels like the divine feminine is a little bit scary for them. This could mean in their own healing process, it has been a struggle for them to understand affection and love, how to give and receive that energy. I do feel like this is somebody who approaches a particular point with an emotional connection, and it makes them feel like they have to go off on their own because probably there's a fear of abandonment or rejection. Let's get one more card. Hey, Laura, how's it going? I'm glad to hear it. So we've got the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. I think this is somebody who doesn't really know how to approach a relationship in a healthy way. Somebody who may not be able to invest. For some of you, this person may have financial issues, but for many of you, I think this is more so the Aquarius is dealing with being surrounded by not the best of influences. I do think they view you as somebody that is able to deal with that emotional side. All right, let's get a few from the Overthinker's Oracle. Why did Aquarius ghost, please? I'm chuckling at this one. They ghosted because I normally see this as I chose someone over you and they were a downgrade, which could also be true. But I think this is a little bit because they didn't feel good enough for you. A little bit of insecurity. And I do think this is somebody who likes to get, like, the pace of their romantic connections is always like breakneck speed. They like to get people attached or addicted to their energy before they find out who this person really is. So Aquarius ghosted because of some insecurity, feeling like it was only a matter of time before they would get rejected anyways. They do like to build up. It's like they talk a big game, but then as far as investing long term, they get cold feet, they get nervous, they feel like it's only a matter of time before they're going to get rejected, so they go off on their own or they reject people. This is somebody who pretty consistently is missing a person from their past. They feel more comfortable with that energy than trying to work towards a consistent relationship. So they expect things to go bad. They leave before they do, basically. All right, let's move on to Gemini. This is the Wild Reflections. Hello, James. How are you doing? Of course. I hope you're having a good day. Slay. Hey, James. How are you doing? Hey, Matt. How's your day? Hello, Dory. I hope you're having a good weekend. Hello, Michael. How are you today? All right, Gemini, we've got the Knight of Wands, Six of Swords. I've got to clarify that. Gemini, the ghoster. You're probably not the Gemini. Gemini, the ghoster, ghosted. Ooh, Knight of Wands, Six of Swords. They saw an easy way out. This is somebody who doesn't have a lot of commitment energy either. This is a person that tends to stick with a situationship or friends with benefits or even a regular old relationship for as long as it like suits them, right? Are you giving me rides to my workplace? Are you paying my bills? Are you whatever it is, right? Can I brag about you to my friends? There's something here that this person felt like they were getting by virtue of being connected to you. Probably could also be naked time. But once that kind of loses its luster, they like to walk away. They like to leave things kind of at a cliffhanger position because they want people to come back for more. We've got Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords in reverse. There's a duality to this person's character. They are at once a little bit of golden retriever and a little bit manipulative liar, which is quite toxic. So they like to show this more Queen of Pentacles side. Again, this is the same energy, right? This Gemini person makes sense because Gemini is known for duality, right? That's not meant as an insult. I'm saying there's literally their astrological sign points to it. This person likes to show this Queen of Pentacles side, get you interested and feel like, okay, they could be reliable, but then they want you to always be looking for that energy. And then this King of Swords in the reverse energy starts to come out. I think this is very strategic and manipulative. So I would say rejection is protection, or like ghost me all day with that. Because like, I don't want any of that. All right, what else do we have about Gemini the ghoster, please? Hello, Voyager. How are you doing? I'm going to do anything and everything to win you back. I wish I had chosen you. So they're going to leverage this Queen of Pentacles energy at some point. Try to show that better side of themselves. Here, look what I can do. It's like, were you ever, as a kid, the type to be like in a swimming pool at a hotel, like, hey, mom, look what I can do. I'm going to do some tricks. Yeah, that's great and all. But to them, this is like, I can do something, demonstrate an ability to do it. But that doesn't mean it's like a consistent energy. It's not a promise to actually be a good person. I just want to show you that I can kind of do it, right? But they're not going to maintain that. I'm going to leave that there. What else do we have on Gemini the Ghoster, please? This is the Love Oracle. Couch camping. Hey, Michael, do you want to be a moderator? You let me know. Memories and bitterness. Okay. Well, so Gemini the Ghoster is definitely thinking about the good times that you had. They want you to focus on them as well. They don't want you to think about how they're actually quite prickly. This is so perfect because I was literally weeding this morning. They have some healing to do, and it is not your responsibility to like manage that for them. All right, let's take a look at Libra the Ghoster. Why did Libra ghost, please? So the thing is, I feel that Libra has chosen to go with somebody else, probably someone that does not require the level of enlightenment that being with somebody like you would require. So Libra is looking at you as strength, or that you have a lot of self-control. And they have this understanding that if they were to work on the things that they need to work on, that it would be a really good relationship with you. But I'm very focused on these stairs. Gosh, they sure do seem like really tall stairs, and I'm wearing heels, so I don't know. I'm not actually wearing heels. This is somebody who feels like it would be a pretty sizable investment in themselves, granted, but still, it would take so much time. So they decided that they probably should just go with somebody that is more on their level, or I guess you could argue somebody who is more like low vibrational, doesn't ask as much of them, right? So Nine of Cups is kind of given like, I chose somebody that would do what I want, or that already feels like I am what they want, because then I don't have to change anything. What else about Libra the Ghoster, please? So even though I felt like it was going to be an easier option for me, I don't have to work on myself, and you like me the way that I am. I still feel stuck with the wrong person and situation. So they ghosted you because they didn't want to do all that work. They didn't want to, be dependable or honest. And now they're thinking back on that moment where they made that choice to go on the other path and wishing that they could time travel back to it and make a different decision. What else about Libra the Ghoster, please? You don't know it, because I do think that Libra would be trying to make it seem like they are happy as can be with this choice that they've made. but they stay awake at night and they think about or like fantasize what it would have been like if they had chosen the path that involved being with you. They are concealing how they really feel. The person that they're dating or the person that they chose, they don't take them seriously. And that's causing problems that they didn't really want to be honest with themselves about. All right, this is the pause tarot. Let's move to Pisces. So water signs will be next. For those of you that are just joining, I just got through the air signs and we're doing the energy belongs to the ghoster. So this would be Pisces who ghosted you, right? Hi, Brenda. How are you doing? Hello, Hope. How are you? Yes, indeed. So Pisces, got some Pisces energy for you. Wow. Again, I keep framing that weird. This is Pisces the ghoster. 5 of Swords, and then we've got the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. This is somebody who is quite frequently going through self-sabotage. Emotions are very heavy for this person, meaning this could be somebody who cries a lot. This could be somebody who loses their temper a lot. This could be somebody who, if they don't have a way to, like if they have an outlet that helps them, but they have to have a way to express it. Otherwise, they might be kind of volatile. They routinely cause problems in relationships that are positive in their life because they are uncomfortable. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse, 4 of Cups in the reverse, Death. It's almost like somebody's saying, I just wanted to see what would happen. I just wanted to see if you would come back. It's like they're testing your feelings for them. Maybe they don't believe that you actually love them or that you don't actually care about them. I think this is somebody who wants to see if you would fight for them because they might be just a little bit insecure. But to be honest, with that beginning of the whole volatile, passionate energy, kind of feels to me like this is somebody who likes to get into arguments just to see what you do with it. What are you going to do with all that energy? Kind of feels like a little bit of a drama queen. What else do we have about Pisces the ghoster, please? What else? Practice forgiveness. My pride and ego got the best of me. So go ahead, forgive a Pisces today. But it doesn't seem like they've necessarily changed. Now, let's be real. This Death card can talk about transformation. It could be that they learn from this and they come back around and they are healed. You have intuition and discernment that will guide you on that front. But I think this is somebody who wanted to see if you would fight for it. It's like maybe they were wondering if you really did care about them, or maybe they just wanted to see what you would do. Did it for the plot. Wild. All right. What else do we have? So I hate turtlenecks. They like make me feel claustrophobic, and I'm never that cold. At least I don't think so. And like there's scarves, right? This is somebody who gets that like claustrophobic feeling when they are around somebody that they cannot imagine life without. So I started to feel uncomfortable because I realized how much I felt for you. I started to wonder whether or not I could actually be in this connection long term. If I feel like it's going to end or it's going to blow up in my face no matter what, then maybe what I need to do is just like walk away from it now. So they sabotage things because they get a little bit uncomfortable, right? All right, let's move to Cancer. This is the Bianco Nero. What do we have for Cancer, the Ghoster? Six of Cups, Page of Pentacles, the Sun, Nine of Swords, Eight of Swords in the reverse. I think there's someone from Cancer's past that they felt they had unfinished business with, and something was sparked again. There was another conversation, or there was someone that reached out. Maybe they ran into each other, but this person from their past has motivated Cancer to pursue something with them again. So with the Nine of Swords, I feel like they have already tried to do this and may feel like it's actually not the best choice for them to revisit that connection. So it kind of looks like I get really excited. This person's back. I knew they would come back. And then they pull the same kind of energy. And now Cancer is worried because they feel like they ruined things with you over somebody from their past that they should have already been over. With the Eight of Swords in the reverse, the positive is they are now, I think, actually over this person from their past, but they may have also missed their opportunity with you. Ask about Cancer the Ghoster, please. I feel like God is punishing me. And I'm ready to see you face to face. They want to have a conversation and tell you what happened. They feel naive and silly for having chased something they may have already kind of suspected was not a real connection. Ghosting, running, disappearing, invisible, chasing, pursuit, toxicity, resilience. So they ghosted you because they have a ghost connection that comes back all the time. And now they're going to pursue you because that ghost from their past they've gotten over. But the question is, are they going to repeat this behavior? Are they still, like, I feel like they're over for the person from their past, but they might still have some things they need to work on before they could be in a healthy connection. All right, let's look at Scorpio the Ghoster. What else do we have? Ten of Wands, Devil in the reverse. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Seven of Wands and the Star in the reverse. This is someone who's gotten pretty used to being on their own. With the Devil in the reverse and the Ten of Wands, they worked very diligently to get away from a relationship or a situation that was codependent. This could be somebody who has maintained sobriety for a long time, and they know that relationships can put stress on that. This could be somebody who has maintained solitary living situation for a long time and maybe a little bit concerned in terms of how do I let somebody else into that existence. But it's an energy here. Scorpio is like non-committal because they've been burned. They're gaining access to them is very difficult. And I do think that a big part of that is kind of like a swinging too far along the people-pleasing boundaries scale, right? Now it's like, I expect everyone is a horrible person, so show yourself, Banshee. I think they expected you to be a person with bad intentions and disappeared because they expect this star in the reverse energy. I expect you to make my life more difficult or add drama, and I don't want to deal with that. Are they right? Probably not, because it's suggesting that they're a little bit overly independent or a little bit unwilling to entertain anybody. So what they perceive as your lack of healing is actually a little bit of their own lack of healing, because they are still projecting that like old energy onto new people, because I don't feel like they got a good grasp on your energy. This person does have good karma. It's just they ghosted you, or they walked away, or they ended things because they're still dealing with trust issues, quite frankly. So I don't get bad energy from them at all. They just need to kind of like rein it in a little bit after having to work pretty over a long period of time. They had to make sure that they were making boundaries that made sense and maintaining them, because they didn't want to deal with this energy they worked so hard to get away from. I do think that their intuition is like bothering them right now. They are starting to think about all of the indicators that were a green flag from you, and feeling like maybe they misjudged you. So I think it's only a matter of time before you might hear from this person. If you're hoping to hear from them, I do think that it would go well. They just do need a little bit of space right now to kind of figure things out and not feel pressured by you. Let's see. Moving on to Aries the Ghoster. This is the Gold Foil Tarot. Hello, Upper Echelon. Hello, Vicky. How are you doing? Hey, Carrie. Hello. Is it no dating? I hope you're having a good day. All right, Aries, we've got the Five of Cups in the reverse. Sorry, Aries the Ghoster is Five of Cups in the reverse. You guys, I'm trying to like... Aries the Ghoster might be working a lot or have, some distractions in terms of family obligations. This is looking more like a missed opportunity or bad timing. This Aries individual is coming through as the Hermit, so I do feel like they are quite independent and wise, but I wouldn't say that they are like manipulative or anything like that. This feels situational to me. So I wanted to get to know you, or, I felt like things were going well, but then all of a sudden everything went crazy at work, or everything in my family is overwhelming me right now. So with the Ace of Wands in the reverse, I feel like this is somebody who's saying like, I just really don't know how I have time for any like getting to know somebody right now. But they are hoping that there's going to be another chance with you. All right. Cool. Bing. Thank you. All right. Oh, wait. I already had enough of these. We're going to go for this one. What else do we have about Aries the Ghoster? I don't know if you've noticed, but since I've been taking two only of these two decks, I'm smirking because I feel like Spirit knows that, and they're specifically just giving me two cards. It's making me smile. Feel loved, you guys. They know what I want. Player energy and love spell. Uh-oh. So this player energy, I feel like this isn't theirs. I feel like they're busy with work and they've got multiple people asking them for their time. And there's somebody here who's done a love spell on them. But I also feel like for some of you, we've got an Aries that does have this non-committal energy. And they like to do love spells to keep people on the back burner. So they have things they need to do. The way I'm seeing it is if you've ever played The Sims, you line up tasks, right? Okay, here's what you have to do next. And oh, it looks like you need to go to the bathroom, do that. And then we got to take the trash out. I think this is somebody who likes to have options waiting for them. This means I would not be waiting for a second chance with this person because they would invariably have, I don't know, it's like hard for them to focus on the long term because they're so cognizant, or like they like the fact that there are people waiting in line. Like if this doesn't work out, I know I have other people, you know? Hello, Nathaniel. How are you doing? All right, we need to get a few from the Love Oracle. What else about Aries the Ghoster, please? Cloudy judgment and perspective. Yeah, they don't have the best decision-making skills. They may have a slightly off understanding of things. Way to go, Carmen. How do I say this? I think this is somebody who may be a little bit prideful or arrogant. They may think that they are a high value person when they may overestimate that. I'm not trying to call anybody a loser, but I do think that this is somebody who thinks they can get away with more than they really can, or that they are higher ranking than they are. It's so judgy. But the perspective here is you're better off without this person. That's why this is cloudy judgment. They think that you would be better with them. Be careful of this Aries. They are tricky. All right, we're moving on to Leo the Ghoster. What do we have about Leo, please? Why did Leo ghost? Death in the reverse. Page of Pentacles. Seven of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Swords in the reverse. King of Cups. Huh. So Leo seems to have ghosted, knowing that there is unfinished business, and they feel confident that at some point they'll be able to reconcile or come back for a second chance. This is someone who feels like you would rank them as like the one who got away. That if you were in a relationship, they could probably also come back and you would choose them. The audacity. I just never seen an ego that big. How do you fit it in a car? I'm just curious. They are not worried. This is somebody who doesn't have a care in the world because they know when they come back, you'll be excited about it. Are they right? Probably not. But like, that's what they think. They're like, I know there's more, but like, I'm distracted or there's other things I want to do. I'll come back later. You'll be here. I'm not worried about it. They watch you though. When they're not talking to you, they watch your social media or they try to get information. Hiding my emotions and feelings for you, and I'm afraid to commit. I'm sorry, I had to. There's a little typo on the cards, but we still love them. They're good. This person is afraid to commit, and they don't want to admit that they've fallen for you. If they admit that, they feel like that's weakness. They feel like that's giving you too much power. They'd rather play some games. So Leo, the ghoster, is afraid of rejection. So this is why they like to play games. Hi, Curtis. How are you doing? And we've got clarity, truth, intentions, and honesty. They're going to accidentally say something to you that is exactly what they're thinking or exactly what their intentions are. And it's like for some of you, they might add a text message. For others of you, they may pull back a direct message. Or they're going to do this is someone who says something that is a little bit too honest and they feel like they shouldn't admit it, but they do. All right, let's move on to Sagittarius. This is the Egyptian tarot. All right, for Sagittarius, the ghoster. Why did they ghost? Why? Hello, Louise. How are you doing? Page of Swords. Another Nine of Swords in the reverse, huh? Three of Cups. Four of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. I think this person got a message from a third party. This is, I think, an ex. So they were getting to know you, or they had been hanging out with you. They may even be in love with you. But there's this other person that I feel there's a lot of physical attraction here. I feel like this is somebody who reached out and said, hey, I'm single. And this is somebody that they were waiting to hear from. So Sagittarius, the ghoster, has a third party or had somebody else that they still had feelings for reach out. Maybe even connect with them in terms of like, hey, let's go on a date. But this is somebody that they had kept secret. So I don't think you would know about this. Or they didn't tell you that this person was someone they still had feelings for. I love you so much, though I never expressed it, and blocked. I think they got a message from an ex that says, I love you, and then they blocked you. Or they ghosted you. They want this other person from their past. Sorry to be so blunt, but that's why they ghosted. Hello, Grant. Hello, Dex. How's it going? I hope you're having a good day. Disagree. I've seen none of that here. All right, for Sagittarius, what else do we have? Divine Feminine and pain. So they wanted to distract themselves from their pain by spending time with you, but they were still looking in the rearview mirror, waiting to hear from this person. When they heard from that person, then they went right back. So I do feel like this is a pretty toxic connection, very codependent relationship that they were just not over yet. And they wanted to kind of distract themselves or find a way to pass the time until they heard from this person again. I am sorry, but that is what their energy says. All right, let's see what we've got for, what is it? Capricorn. Why did Capricorn ghost? Nice. Capricorn ghosted because of 5 of Cups. Regret, remorse, grief. I think we've got somebody who has an unexpected event in their life that may even result in some depression or a sense of dissociating from others, wanting to have time to themselves, and maybe even a loss of motivation to work towards the things that are important for them. I do think that we have a situation where somebody is stuck in their life right now. So this Capricorn is waiting for something to happen before they kind of like snap out of it. In other words, I do feel like this is somebody who is not in the best mindset for a relationship, and ghosting might have been for the best because this is somebody who needs to work on things, healing in particular. I definitely think they could have handled it better, but this feels to me like something pretty major happened in their life. Tell me more about Capricorn, please. I stay awake all night thinking about you, and spiritual connection. They do regret how things went down. They wish that they had been more communicative. For many of you, this is somebody who doesn't want to talk to you because they don't want you to look at them in a pity kind of energy. So if they've gone through something difficult, they want to communicate with you when they're on the other side of it and they're feeling more themselves. They don't necessarily know if they're going to get that opportunity, though, and they're starting to worry what your perspective is. Hello, Dawn. How are you doing? Hello, Aqua Beauty. How's it going? Yeah, Dawn, I agree with that. If you can avoid it, it's best to avoid it. What else do we have? Abandonment or abandoned. And emotional storm. Yeah, this is somebody who had to walk away because of something else going on in their life. I feel like someone may have passed away, or they may be dealing with like a loss in terms of their job or financial security. My condolences to anybody going through that. They don't really have the emotional bandwidth to be in a relationship. They should have had a conversation with you, but this is one of those things where I do think there's a lot going on for them. I would be more understanding of this person than probably any of the others. So far. All right, let's move on to Taurus. Why did Taurus ghost? Hey, Robert, how are you doing? Tower in the reverse. Knight of Cups. Two of Swords in the reverse. Five of Wands and Justice. This feels to me like we've got a decision to walk away, because if something comes out, or if you get to know the real me, or if you find out the truth, then we're probably just going to argue anyways. So if I think you're going to invariably leave me, or find out who I really am, or if I think that, you know, I'm going to realize you're not who you think you are, or who I thought you were, then maybe I should just decide to walk away now. I don't know that this person was very methodical or strategic about this, but I feel like this is more so like, I don't want to argue with you, and I know you're eventually going to be mad at me. So maybe they already did something and they didn't want to talk to you about it at all. What else about Taurus, please? Taurus the ghoster. I know I owe you an apology. This is what they're scared of. And it looks like they're using sex magic to try to get you to maybe approach them. Wouldn't recommend it, but okay. Let's go with, this is the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. Thank you to the patient Virgo watchers. Whoever got ghosted by a Virgo, we're finally on Virgo. All right, why did Virgo ghost? Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. King of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Eight of Cups. There's financial struggles for Virgo. This is impacting their confidence, but also like their general ability to go places or do things. So I don't think they really wanted to talk about the fact that maybe they've got some issues with regards to paying bills, or they need to look for a job. So they might just not want to talk about something that's a little bit less than flattering regarding their finances. So they decided to just kind of, bye. I do feel like they flaked out on a date because they can't afford to pay for it. They can't afford to, drive there, and no judgment on that, right? This seems to me like a little bit of a surprise financial problem, and they didn't know how to talk about it. But they are worried because they were starting to catch feelings, and they don't know if they're going to get another chance with you. And they feel like if they express those feelings, then they're going to have an awkward conversation or two. So this is like the opposite of the ego thing. It's more of like an insecurity thing. I'm worried you're going to judge me. I guess it's still pertaining to ego, right? but it looks to me like we've got Virgo trying to figure out how to fix their finances before they feel like they're ready to come back around and talk to you, or they feel like you would just reject them if you knew about their finances. Hi, Lemonade. Indeed, you are, but you can still rewind and be able to watch the live chat, which is kind of fun. All right, I'm going to come back around and do some timestamps for you all. But again, well, you've already watched it, so this is really more for Lemonade than anybody else. You will be able to find in the description box, though, it tells you where the specific astrological signs can be found in terms of the order that I go in. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes, and thank you to those of you that are members. I sure do appreciate you. And I will hopefully see you on the next reading. Doodles.